Hey, Mary. We're going to try it again, Mary. Hang on one sec.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight for our Gerber Scout Reservation March webinar. So tonight's presenter is obviously myself, Mary Steck. I am the camp director, and I will be sharing information with you tonight about some of the things we have happening at Gerber this summer. Our agenda tonight is to talk a little bit about our camp leadership, to look at our payment schedule and the third payment, the importance of conducting a pre-camp parents meeting, how to do pre-camp swim checks, some details about our first year camper program, and how to plan for camp. And as always, we will have time for questions and answers at the end. You can put those in the chat. So some housekeeping for our webinar. All attendees are in listen-only mode. So we'll use our chat feature to enter questions. Chris and Sean will help me monitor that so I don't miss any. And as always, we will record this, and the recording and the slide deck will be posted to the website in a few days. Every time we do a webinar, we talk a little bit about legendary camp service. This is really an important piece of what we do in our summer camp. And so I want to review that commitment that we make to you. Our commitment is that we, as the camp staff, are dedicated to providing our customers and guests a legendary Scout camp experience while participating in our life-changing year-round camp programs. We are committed to providing facilities, programs, services, and camp leadership that will consistently exceed the expectations of our customers and guests. Our Michigan Scout camps will be safe havens for experiencing the best of the adventures and the values of the Boy Scouts of America. Our planning focus to make that happen is that we will strive to plan an innovative program that meets the needs of all Scouts and one that will be provided by qualified and talented staff. We will work diligently to plan and implement a high-quality food service program. We will continue to upgrade and refresh our facilities, and we will engage you, our leaders, in our process in the implementation of our programming at camp. So a little bit about camp leadership for 2022. We have some returning folks and we have some new folks for you to meet this summer. We are very excited to have all of our key leadership in place for the summer. And to just give you an idea, our leadership team consists of myself as the camp director. Our program director will again be Marie Beckvar, change in name. She got married just before camp last summer. She comes to us from Washington State with a lot of years of experience as a program director with camping in the Boy Scouts. Our outpost director, who is going to handle some of our Webelos camps as well as our Lewis and Clark experience, is Michael Cleary. Michael is coming to us from Camp Meriwether in Oregon. They are the epicenter for Lewis and Clark. And so he is bringing some of their program to us, and we're very excited to have him and his years of experience. He is finishing his master's degree in education, to give you an idea of some other background that he has. Our returning business manager is Cindy Hansen. Some of you met her last summer. She will be in the office to handle all of your business related needs. And our office manager this year will be Robin Keist. We're really excited to have Robin with us. And so that will be the face that you see when you come into the office versus one of us having to kind of pop out from wherever we are to meet with you. Robin will handle all those little details for us. Our trading post manager is returning. It is Jill Tenbrink. Most of you met her last summer. We're very excited to have her expertise back in the trading post. And you all know our ranger, Chris Tower, who will be on our summer camp staff as always, providing those needs. Shooting sports this summer, we are adding Bonnie C. And we are very excited to have Bonnie take on the role of shooting sports director. Carl Boss will come in for some evening program special things to help Bonnie out. And so we've got some double expertise in that department. Our high adventure director will again be Keith Oliver. He has some exciting programs at the tower and on off-camp activities for your scouts. New to us this summer is an aquatics director. His name is Alex Drunt. He is a college student coming from Northern Michigan University to come and share his expertise with us at the waterfront. Returning in Eagle Quest is Bernice Oliver. Bernice is a teacher and comes with many years of experience working in small groups of students and provides a lot of expertise in the Eagle Quest department. In our ecology nature area, we have Madison Peterson. Madison is a teacher, a classroom teacher, who will be bringing her science background and her experience into that field. And returning this year, again, to handicraft is Natalie Teig. We are very excited to have Natalie and her art experience last summer, and she will be coming back to join us in 2022. Natalie is currently off with AmeriCorps traveling around the United States, so she'll have a lot of interesting stories and information to share with our scouts as well. So camp payment schedule. We all are kind of into that schedule of where we're headed. So next slide, Chris. We should be we're thinking about making the third payment. It is due on April 1st, 2022. And then your final payment, planning ahead, is May 1st. To make that third payment, here's an example of what that screen looks like. You're going to log into scoutingevent.com. You're going to hit lookup or lookup registration, have your registration number ready, and you can make that payment by e-check or by credit card. For existing registrations, an additional $125 is due for each youth participant. The camp fee due for new registrations at this time equals $225 per youth and $50 per adult. That catches new registrants up to where everyone else is. If you missed your second payment due March 1st, $225 is due on April 1st for youth participants, and $50 is due on April 1st for adult participants that missed the first payments. Your final payment is due on May 1st. It's $125 per youth, $110 per full-time adult, and $33 per day for part-time adults. That is due May 1st. If you don't make the payment by May 1st, a $50 late fee will be assessed to all youth that are not paid in full. Late fees do not apply to new scouts just joining your unit or Arrow of Light crossovers. That's key. Late fees do not apply to new scouts joining your troop or Arrow of Light crossovers. Camp scholarships are available again this year. To be eligible, a scout needs to be registered with the Michigan Crossroads Council, and they must be registered to attend any of our MCC Scouts BSA resident camps. Parents will fill out a separate application for each scout requesting assistance. Different this year, that does not have to come through you as a scoutmaster. It can be done directly by the parents. Assistance is considered based on need and the youth unit support of the Michigan Crossroads Council, including participation in the popcorn sale. Applications are available from the beginning of January until May 30th, but we would like them turned in by April 1st. That's when the first round of awards will be made. That's the preferred submit by date. If you have families that don't make that date, they should submit their application anyway. As long as there is scholarship dollars left, those will be allocated at that time. Families should only apply for one type of assistance. For example, if they are getting a sibling discount, then they would not qualify for a camp scholarship, or the other way around. So parents should choose one or the other. It should be noted that a camp scholarship will not be more than half of the camp fee. There's the website right there with the / scholarships to get to that application. Summer Camp 2022 pre-camp parents meetings. We're going to talk a little bit about why this is important and what should be included in a parents meeting. Why should you have a pre-camp parents meeting? Scouts go to camp when their parents are informed of the purpose and the advantages of scout camping. The purpose of hosting a parents' night is to answer their questions, and they are going to have questions about health and safety, about food and special diets for their scouts, about the programs that camp is offering, about fees and payment deadlines, and about the leadership. Who will they be leaving their scouts with from a unit level, and also the leadership that they'll see when they get to camp. By providing parents with this information early, it helps in creating a sense of responsibility for making your unit's camping program a success. So think about how you can put that meeting together and get your parents this information. What an agenda might look like. It should promote scout attendance at summer camp. It should be held early in the year with the parents of the crossovers or soon to be crossovers in attendance if that's possible. And it is recommended that units should have camping exhibits or demonstrations by the Patrol Leaders Council available for parents to see so they know what their scouts will be doing at camp. You can look back on years past, things that you have done. You can have scouts share that information who have been to camp. There are lots of ways that you can put that information there for parents, especially new parents, to see. Your meeting agenda, here's a sample for you. You're not tied into this, but it helps you put some ideas in place. An opening ceremony by your senior patrol leader, a welcome and the purpose of the meeting by the troop committee and the troop leadership, some camp promotional materials, video, slideshow. There are videos available on the website that you can use for that purpose. If you make some arrangements, you could have someone from the camp staff there to also share some information or share some promotional materials. That would be something you could do by sending me an email or making a phone call. You want to talk about the unit's plans for summer camp. That's something that the Scoutmaster would be talking about. What camp did you select and why that camp fits your unit's needs this year? What are the camping dates and what campsite are you planning to use? Who is the camp leadership? What do you need to provide that leadership and what's already in place? This is a great time to talk to parents who might want to spend part of their week at camp to help you out. Your camp savings plan, ways to earn money for camp. What are you doing to help your scouts earn the money that they need to pay their way to camp? How to register, fees, due dates, parent portal if you're using that. That's a time to explain that to parents. And the DHS registry clearance rules for campers and visitors. Just a little note there, that form is going to be registered. You need to do that annually for all adults who will be on camp. Then have a question and answer period for your parents so that they can answer, ask the questions that they might have of you. Following that, a closing ceremony by your senior patrol leader, and you have done your meeting and shared a whole lot of information with your families.
Mary, can I interrupt? You have a few questions that's somewhat related to the information you just covered. Do you want to answer those now or do you want to wait to the end?
Oh, let's do them now because otherwise they're going to get kind of buried.
Do you want me to read them to you or are you going to just read them?
No, I'll let you do it.
Okay, a couple of questions when you get to them. One, can you confirm that scouts and adults need to bring their own tents and that tents at Adirondacks are supplied by Gerber?
All units camping at Gerber this year will be bringing their own tents, same as we did last year. If you have families or individuals that do not have tents, we have a small number of tents that we can loan out. You just need to let me know.
All right, question two. We are assigned to, and this is part of the same question. We are assigned to Delphinus campsite. What is the capacity for scouts and adults? And does that capacity take into effect personal tents?
That's a tough one for me to answer because I'd have to look up, I'd have to go into my computer to pull out the capacity for Delphinius. I can tell you that it absolutely takes into effect personal tents. Those capacities are built on the number of tent pads, the concrete pads that we had in camp. And so we can definitely fit more than the number of those tent pads that we have.
All right. So you'll follow up with the tent, the campsite capacity.
I will.
All right. Couple more questions. Will there be an OA call out fireball as in the past and the opportunity to do the ordeal?
I do not have a good answer for that question at the moment. I have met with John Elber, who is our West Side OA advisor. He is hoping to make that happen, but I have no details. So it is their intention that will happen at camp, but I cannot give you details on that right now. And I can see the next part. How and when do I find out which campsite you've been assigned to? When you put in your registration, you can request a campsite. The bottom line is when we get down to camp and I look at all of the units that are coming and what those requests are, I honor them to the best of my ability, but every once in a while, because of a size of a unit or a special need, we need to make some changes. I will always contact you if that is the case.
Great. It's kind of specific and you may have to look into your records and get back. Has Troop 282 been assigned a campsite?
I will have to look that one up. I do not know.
Okay. Somebody asked, is there a link for the DHS form? Chris put that into the link. Great.
Yep.
Just to note, next week, a letter will be going out to all leaders in Black Pug for instructions on how to get to the DHS form. We strongly encourage you to do that online, have it sent to you directly when you show up versus sent to a staff member. And Chris already also put the link for the Take a Hike Hike-a-thon that we are sponsoring. There's a lot of youth raising some significant dollars for camp. And that is, as we talked about scholarships, units, fundraiser, that kind of falls in line with the popcorn sale. That is a 50-50 split with the council, 50% commission to the unit and 50% to the council to be put right back into the scholarship maintenance program at camps. So that's it to date, Mary. Mary, my apologies for
No, I
taking time
appreciate
out
it.
of your agenda.
Because I'd rather do it part way as we go along. For the person who asked about my contact information, Chris also put that there. It's Mary Steck. It's mary.steck@scouting.org. It's pretty simple. I would ask, as you do your DHS forms, Jason's put a little comment here that they come back within a few days. Please have those returned to you personally. Don't have them sent to my email address and don't have them sent to the camp. There's too much opportunity for those to be.
And Mary, in my discussions with Laura, they're coming back in a few days now, but as you get closer to summer camp and more people, it's probably going to be more like a 1 week, potentially 2 week window. So as we get closer to camp, the slower it goes.
We learned that last summer. So if you do it the week before summer camp, you probably won't have it. Do it now, you get a quick return. So next slide, Chris, let's go. And then we'll ask their questions again as we get to the next little section. We'll wait 1 second while Chris reboots that. Okay, pre-camp swim checks. As you know, all campers are required to do a swim test, and there are several ways that you can do that. Units can complete these on their own with approval. You need to visit the website that is listed there, and that will explain to you how to get the approval to conduct your own. It's pretty simple to do, and I would strongly suggest that if you have kids that you're a little worried about, let's start early and get them through that process. You can attend an MCC sponsored event. We will be hosting that at Gerber on June 11th. It's a Saturday. You can go to register online for that and select a time slot. And our aquatic staff will be there to do those swim tests at Gerber. Then they're done by the time you come to camp. If neither of those options works for you, you'll be able to do them when you check in on Sunday afternoon. And we will go on down to the waterfront and take those swim tests then. Next slide, please. So the interesting topic for tonight is the first year camper program. At Gerber, we call that Eagle Quest. Bernice Oliver is our area director there. And our first year camper is a morning program. It's designed for scouts that are just crossing over into the troop, and it focuses on the skills and the requirements of tenderfoot, second class, and first class. The focus is on, it's not limited to, but things like first aid and cooking, knots and lashings, fire building, citizenship, all of those activities in those areas that can be introduced and practiced at camp. As you know, many of those are things that need to be done at a unit level or things that just take time, like number of campouts. Our staff are not going to sign off any of those skills in the Scouts books. We will give you a list at the end of the week of all of the skills that were taught, and it will be up to the leaders to verify with their scouts to their satisfaction what they know. Many scouts need to practice those skills more times with their troop to become more proficient in those, and that is something that we understand at camp. We encourage adults to come along to Eagle Quest, spend some time watching what the kids are learning, watching the activities that they're doing, lend a hand. You know, you're all experts in instructing kids as well. So come help with the instruction, come help with some of the supervision that goes on down there. We can handle up to 40 kids at Eagle Quest in a morning. So that kind of gives you an idea about how much we appreciate adults who come along. In the afternoon at Eagle Quest, we focus on some of the Eagle required merit badges. This is not something that is just for first year scouts, and anybody can take these merit badges. They will work on the cooking merit badge, as it applies to what you can be doing in camp. There are prerequisites for that. They will do the first aid merit badge, and they will work on emergency preparedness. All of those have prerequisites. If you look in the leader's guide, you can see what those will be. So our first year program, it's called Eagle Quest. It's pretty exciting. And we hope that we'll see your first year campers there. So planning for camp, that's kind of a process, and we've got some suggestions and some guidelines that might help you with that as we get closer to camp. The ideal timeline, and ideal is the key word here. Not everybody's going to fit the same timeline, but think about it as you go along, and you can refer back to these slides because Chris is going to have them on the website. Between March and April, you want to collect merit badge selections from your scouts. Okay, we're going to open that up for Gerber on March 23rd at 8 o'clock in the morning. My suggestion to you, and I have talked to many leaders in the last couple of weeks, I would go to the leader's guide. I would find the page that looks like this. It says merit badge schedule. Use that with your scouts as they are choosing their schedule for how they would like to be taking merit badges during the day. It's a much easier thing as you're making a plan than trying to get on the website and dig through. So use that page from your leader's guide as a planning document. Know that you need to have $125 per youth or a $225 total in to be able to get those merit badges scheduled. Submit your camp scholarships, your camperships by April 1st, and hold your final parents meeting to go over summer camp plans and answer questions. There is a gear list that you will also find in the leader's guide that you can distribute to families so that you can start to plan what they'll need to bring with them. And as we talked about before, this year, that does include bringing a tent. So, and again, we have a few to loan out. Next slide, please. Between April 1st and May 1st, collect copies of each participant's health form and release of camper form. That is your health form A, B, and C. It includes that doctor's form. We will not be able to return the originals. We need to keep those on file for a large number of years. So please make a copy of what the parents give you. My advice is to put all of those documents in a binder, and that way when we check you in, it's very easy for us to check them. So put the youth together in alphabetical order, put the adults together in alphabetical order, and you can staple their DHS form to their health form. We need to keep all of that together. So again, the last payment, $125 per camper, or makes a total of $350. You're going to collect $110 from each adult camper, which is a total of $160. And then that daily fee, which is $33 a day from each part-time adult that you're going to have coming to camp with you. And then based on that, you'll make your final payments on time, which is May 1st. And then between May 1st and June 1st, confirm your transportation arrangements to and from camp. Each unit does that somewhat differently. Where are you going to leave from? What time are you going to leave? Who's driving? All of those things. We will again be scheduling check-in times by unit. It worked very well last summer, and most leaders asked that we repeat that. So we will be giving your unit, based on their campsite, because that seemed to work the best, a check-in time. And if you have special concerns or special requests in that department, please see me. I can make arrangements if you're driving a long way and you want a later time, you want an earlier time. I have a few units who've asked if they could come in Saturday. We can accommodate those needs. I just need to know what they are. So you're going to then also collect your youth protection forms, proof of BSA membership, and your DHS clearance forms for all of your adults, and secure a copy of your council's accident insurance if you are an out-of-council unit. That does not apply to Michigan Crossroads councils. It only applies to out-of-council units. So finally, in your ideal timeline, 2 weeks prior to coming to camp, have your SBL and your scribe complete your camp roster. That's something you'll turn in when you check in. Confirm all your final transportation arrangements. Make sure you've got everything lined up. inventory your unit equipment. What are you going to need as far as equipment coming to camp? Set up and inspect your tents. That's really kind of an important thing, because the last thing you need to do is get to camp and find out that someone left the poles home and they can't put their tent up. We will help you if that's the case, but set them up and inspect them ahead of time. Make sure that all your required paperwork is organized and ready to come to camp. If you, everyone should be filling out their special dietary needs forms as you're registering, but please call if you have special concerns or that you want to double check some of those areas. I can tell you in that regard that as we're putting our menus together this summer, we are going to be automatically planning for vegetarians and gluten-free menu items for every meal. So those things will be automatically in place for students or student scouts with those needs. And then any prerequisite slips for people who have done their prereqs for their merit badges, have those signed by the unit leadership or the merit badge counselor and ready for them to bring to their first merit badge class. And 1 week prior to coming to camp, again, double check that paperwork, make sure you have all the health forms and PHS clearance forms and proof of membership and YPT certificates. Make sure your trailer is packed if you are bringing your trailer. We will again allow a trailer and one attached vehicle in the campsite, and that is all in the vehicle department. And make sure your camp roster is correct and updated, and that you have printed out class schedules and all of those pieces of information that will help your scouts get to the right place at the right time. I would recommend as a parent that you maybe print more than one copy of those class schedules, because they'll lose the first one that you give them. And it's best to be prepared with more. Upcoming webinars. We will do this again April 19th at 7 p.m. And our final webinar will be May 17th at 7 p.m. So please register for those. And I hope that you can join us on those nights. If you have questions between now and the next webinar, you are welcome to call me. You are welcome to email me. I get those pretty much daily, and I will respond to you as quickly as I can with answers to your questions. And some service opportunities. Gerber Scout Reservation is hosting an I Love My Camp Day, April 23rd. It's a one-day event. It is an opportunity for anyone, adults, youth, whoever, to come to camp and help with some projects to get our camp ready for summer camp. It will happen just during the day, and we will provide lunch for all of those who come out to help that day. Mix Fix Day is on May 14th, and that is a special work day for those with some specific skills that we might need to get some of our bigger projects done. If you have questions about that, I would suggest that you email Chris Tower or myself to get some more specifics on that particular event.
Marion, I believe they will get a pretty cool patch on I Love My Camp Day too for participation. Is that correct?
Sure, if you say so. I don't.
Okay.
Yes, that is correct, Sean.
Yes.
Thank you. Next slide, if we have one. Otherwise, we can check the chat. Yep, that's where I thought we are. Any questions from anyone tonight on any of the things we talked about, or anything that maybe we didn't cover that you need more information? Sean, anything you'd like to add?
I would just add something small for swim checks. Jay Richardson has stepped down as our MCC Aquatics Director. His contact information was there. So I'm not trying to put more on your plate, Mary, but I would recommend all your campers contact you to support them, or Greg Zidane, or our statewide staff advisor.
That would be fine. They can certainly email me, and if it's something that I cannot answer, I will forward it to the correct person. I would again encourage people to get that swim test done in advance of coming to camp if you can, because it makes your afternoon of getting your campsite set up and all those little details much easier if you're not down at the waterfront having to do a swim test.
And Mary, just my 2 cents. I just overseeing our camps, I am totally impressed with your staff and their experience. You have there's a lot of educators on Gerber staff who are, very experienced. We're working with youth, especially in those key director positions, educators, volunteers that have been at it a long time. But I'm sure you also have staff positions that are open that you need to fill where those directors can be incredible mentors for younger staff members. Am I correct?
You are correct. I have 10 positions available, and those would be for 16, 17, 18, 19-year-old students, high school students, college students, specifically looking for some high adventure people, for some people out at ecology in the nature area. I need another lifeguard if I could find one of those. So 10 people will kind of fill out our staff for the summer. 12 would be nice, but 10 would make it through. And as always, I am looking for kitchen staff. So if you know anyone who is interested in coming out and cooking, our ideal schedule would be to have our cooks working in 2 shifts, breakfast, lunch, and then lunch, dinner shift. That way we can share the load there. And I also am looking for a kitchen manager, someone with some experience and background in running a commercial kitchen. So I've got some feelers out. We're working that process, but I would love input from anyone on the webinar who could suggest someone that we could talk to. And as always, if you have kids in your unit that you think would make good staff members, or CITs, if they're 14 or 15, please have them fill out the application. Or contact me directly with an email, and we will have that conversation with them. And I have some spots available. If we don't have any other questions, Chris put up the website for the camp staff and application. Chris, you're quick. Thank you for doing that. And if no one has any other questions, then I think we're good for the night. And I'll either talk to you, open staff interviews, April 2nd. At the office in Eagle. I believe that's between 10 and 5, Chris, am I correct? I can tell you in a minute.
Yes, that's correct, Mary.
It is correct. I just pulled up my calendar. So if you can call and make an appointment, or you can just show up and we will conduct some interviews at that time. That is all I have for the night. Thank you for coming on tonight. And again, thank you for everything that you as leaders are doing for Scouts and for the kids in your community. We look forward to seeing you at camp. Just a little bit of publicity on my end. Please check the calendar at Michigan Crossroads. We have lots of great events coming up between now and when summer camp starts, and some things in the fall. We'd love to see you for a weekend prior to summer camp if that fits into your schedule. Thank you all for coming tonight.